In this video, I'll be going through the updates that have been added to 3D Vista over the past year or so, as well as covering the features that I think will offer you the most benefit if you're looking to start a 360 virtual tour business. Later on, I have a few other bonus tips to help save you a ton of money, so make sure to stick around for that. And for you eagle-eyed subscribers, you may have noticed that my office has changed a little bit. I've been chucked out of my big office, and that is now my eldest son's room. So I'll be making this background look a little bit more presentable for future videos. It definitely needs something back here somewhere. So any suggestions from you lot, then do let me know. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Nick Powell, and I've been running a successful 360 virtual tour business for 7 years now. And I put a lot of that success down to 3D Vista and how it has given me the opportunity to create some absolutely amazing virtual tours for my clients. One thing that always amazes me about the team over at 3D Vista is how they're constantly updating the software with amazing new features whilst keeping the software easy to use and looking really great. Now, you may have already seen my 3D Vista top 15 features video that I did back in 2021, I think it was. But in this video, I wanted to spend a bit more time talking to you all about why this software is a great choice for anyone looking to start a virtual tour business. But if you haven't seen that video yet, then I will make sure to link to it in the description below for you so you can watch it later on. Okay, let's get going. First of all, I wanted to start by asking you a question. What are you looking for in a 360 virtual tour software? You may already be using another platform and may be looking to get a higher level of customization, or maybe you're right at the start of your 360 journey and a little bit overwhelmed with the amount of choice out there. And yes, there is a lot. The question is, which one is right for you? There are basically two options. You can either go for something that you pay a monthly fee for, and they deal with all of your hosting, etc. for you, which may sound great, but may not be the best choice. Or you pay one lump sum, you own the software outright, and host all the tours yourself. This all depends on really what your end goal is. Do you want to make money from 360 virtual tours? Or are you just doing it to display 360 photos to your friends and family and things like that? If you are looking to start a business with 360, then 3D Vista is definitely worth considering. We will get into the money side of things a little bit later, as this is obviously very important, especially with the financial climate the way it is at the moment. But for now, I want to quickly go through the features of 3D Vista, as this will help you compare it with other platforms. Now, this isn't going to be a full comparison video with other 360 virtual tour softwares, as that would take absolutely ages, but I want to show you the features that 3D Vista offers that I feel will be useful for someone looking at getting into this industry, and also show you some of the newest features that they've introduced. Let's start with the newest feature, and that is 3D models. This has been a long-awaited update, and it opens up a huge amount of possibilities for the construction industry, staff training, retail stores, car brands, real estate, much more. The 3D modeling feature allows you to add 3D objects into your virtual tour, whether that be an interactive model of a car or a 3D flyover of an area or location. Now, there is one caveat for this, and that is learning the techniques to create the 3D models in the first place. And also how to use your drone or camera to create 3D photogrammetry images. This is something personally that I am myself learning, as well as adding new chapters to my existing 3D Vista training course, and we'll talk more on that later on. The next feature, which is also part of the 3D modeling update, is the first person view, which will allow you to walk through a digital space using your keyboard. This is a demo that 3D Vista have shared, which was created by Eugene, I hope I pronounced that correctly, and it shows an art gallery with smooth movement throughout the space. And as far as I'm aware, this was created using Autodesk 3ds Max, which is a pretty expensive piece of software. So if you're looking to create similar projects like this, then it may be worth getting someone to create an environment for you, or possibly looking into using Blender, which is a free open source software that enables you to create and edit 3D objects and environments and things like that. One more thing I wanted to cover, which has been a question that has been on a lot of people's minds, and that is, when are 3D Vista introducing the Doll's House feature? Well, due to this new 3D feature being implemented, it is now very easy to add a 3D model into your 360 tours. And although this may not look like your regular Matterport Doll's House, which I personally think looks quite messy anyway, I think this is a much cleaner way of displaying the layout of a home or a small business. Now, to do this, you will need an iPhone with LiDAR, and the app that you're going to need is called Polycam. This amazing app enables you to scan rooms and create a 3D model complete with measurements in a matter of minutes. You can get a 3-day trial for Polycam, and then after that you either pay, I think it's $14.99 a month, or you can save quite a large amount of money actually. I think it's about £100 by paying $79.99 for the whole year. I will add the link to get Polycam in the description below, so do make sure to check that out. So how does this work with 3D Vista? What you do is you simply scan your area using the Polycam app, and then that creates a clean 3D model for you, which I personally think looks way better than the Matterport Doll's House. Sometimes you will need to do a little bit of touching up here and there, but this can quite easily be done in Blender. And the great thing is that you can see a preview of your scan as you're doing it on the app. Once you finish your scan, you simply export the 3D object as a GLTF file, and then you can add it into your 3D Vista tour. Polycam can also be used to do 3D scans of objects as well, so do check that out via the link below. It's absolutely amazing. Now, this may not be what everyone has wanted, but I feel that this gives people a lot more control over what they can do with these 3D models, especially if you take the time out to practice using Blender, so you can customize your models further and the end result looks way cleaner than Matterport. Now, you may struggle slightly on larger buildings, for example large commercial premises, but I don't really feel that the Doll's House feature is really necessary for commercial work, as people don't want to be spending ages looking at a 3D model. All they want to do is just see certain areas quickly and easily, so a menu within the tour on the side or something like that works way better for this. However, for real estate and smaller businesses, it can be really beneficial. Before we get on to the next section, I would really appreciate it if you could just tap that like button below, as it does help this video get shown to other people that may find it useful. So thanks for that. Have you done it? Good. So what are the features that I feel are the most useful for everyday 360 tours? The first one is quite an important one really. It's a pleasure to use. Okay, so it's not really a feature, but I feel that it's really important to make sure that any piece of software that I'm using on a regular basis is not only easy to use, but also is a joy to use. Some 360 programs that I've used are quite dated and clunky. However, 3D Vista, the interface is incredibly well laid out with a kind of step-by-step system in place. This, paired with the absolutely amazing user interface, makes creating your tours fun instead of frustrating and dull. I kind of see it as a 4-step process. So number 1, import your images. Number 2, add your hotspots and connect your 360 images together. Number 3, adjust your skin, and then 4th step is to export the tour. It's as easy as that. However, if you want to go more technical, you can. When I've trained people previously on 3D Vista, I always say that the best things about the software is that it can be as simple or as advanced as you want it to be. So if you're just at the beginning, you'll be able to create some amazing tours, and then as you get better with the software, your tours will end up being more and more advanced. The next one is customization. Now, this is a big one. Having worked with tons and tons of different industries, it's so important for me to be able to turn around to my clients when they ask if they can add something specific and unique to their business into the tour. And 95% of the time, I'm able to say, of course we can. It's not a problem at all. On top of this, it is also crucial to be able to easily create a skin, which is basically the part that overlays the 360 images, that is unique to my clients, with their logo, pop-up information about their business, and any other things like maps, floor plans, photos, video, and so on and so on. So 3D Vista even includes a few skins that you can choose from that are ready to go out the box, and you can easily adjust things within those skins yourself, like font styles and images and text sizes and all that sort of stuff, just to make it look a bit more unique. Or you can create your own skin from scratch, which does take a little bit more time. But the great thing is that you're able to save those skins to use again on another tour in the future, which is a huge time saver. Or you can even purchase one from the 3D Vista Marketplace, which is a library of assets that have been created by the amazing 3D Vista community. And there are tons of goodies to choose from in there as well. So the next feature I wanted to cover was 3D text, images and video. For the first 5 years or so of using 3D Vista, it was slightly frustrating that if I wanted to add text onto a wall or above a door or a photo into a photo frame, I had to do that in Affinity Photo or Photoshop. But now with the introduction of 3D elements, it saved me so much time. I use the 3D text tool on pretty much every one of my hotspots, and also add video to my TV screens within my tours where possible. As a side note, just make sure to use a very low resolution when embedding videos, like sort of 480p or something like that, when adding videos, just to keep the file size as low as possible. This all depends on how far the screen is going to be away from the viewer in the tour. So if it's going to be up close and personal, then maybe go to 720p. You can also add shadows to your text, change the color and the font, and even add actions to the text itself. And that leads me nicely onto the next mega feature of 3D Vista, which is actions. So what is an action, I hear you say? Well, an action allows you to make something happen when someone interacts with something on the tour. And let me tell you, there are so many possibilities. It is unreal. It would take me forever to go through every single one. So for now, here's the panel that you're presented with when you want to add an action, so you can see them for yourself. Now these actions can also be stacked together on top of each other, so they'll execute one after the other. So as an example, if you wanted to play a video on a TV screen to introduce the 360 tour, once that video starts playing, you can set it so a button pops up to give the user the option to pause or mute the video or close it altogether. The list is endless with actions, and in my opinion, it's one of the reasons that makes 3D Vista stand out so much from the crowd. The next feature is tagging. Having the ability to tag your images and hotspots is a fantastic way of keeping organised when you're creating big tours. It also makes closing large numbers of hotspots at the same time really easy. I mean, in this example, you can see that I've got an aerial view of a business, and if I click this button here, all of the location pins pop up to show the user where the closest amenities are. This was created by adding an action to toggle on and off all the hotspots that are tagged with the word pin. So if this tagging feature didn't exist, I would have had to go through each one manually and add the action to that, which would have taken absolutely ages. If you are creating big tours for hotels or something like that, then you can add a tag of bedroom for all the bedroom images, or info box for all the information boxes, so you can find and display them quickly and easily. There is one more feature that I wanted to highlight, and that is the notes feature. This is an incredibly handy feature that allows users of the 360 tour to add notes or media to certain parts of a room or an area, and that can be shared with others that are linked to that tour. A great use case for this would be for the construction industry, or for house builders to complete snagging fixes on a final build, or to spot potential risks. But I've personally used it in the past to liaise with my clients when they are checking through one of my tours. Once I've sent them the tour, I'll tell them that if they want me to add information, pop-up boxes, photos, PDF pop-ups, or anything else within the tour, then they can look around the tour and add a note exactly where they would like to have the pop-up and what they would like included within the text, or which photo they would like to show. This makes the whole process of tour creation for my clients so easy, and it also makes me look really professional and organised. So the next part is a big one, and it's probably the question that's on all of your lips: pricing. Some people, me included, when I first looked at 3D Vista 7 years ago, take a short gasp when they see that 3D Vista costs $499 or euros if you're in the EU. But I just wanted to show some examples that will actually show you that getting 3D Vista can actually work out much cheaper. I'm not going to include other software companies' names here, as I don't think that would be fair to them, but there is a very good reason why I've included this in this video. So let's look at the big picture, as to say. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, if you are looking for something to just use as a hobbyist, then maybe paying monthly would be a better idea, just in case you decide that 360 Virtual Tools aren't for you. But for professional use, it all comes down to time and how long you're going to be using the software for. Now, I'm assuming that by watching this video, you're either just getting started in 360 photography or you are already using another platform and maybe looking for a bit of a change. If you are looking to start a 360 photography business, there is a lot of planning required, and in most cases, quite a lot of money as well. This seems like a good time to mention this week's sponsor, which is me. You can find out more about starting a 360 virtual tour business in my new course, which I've just released, which covers everything from creating a business plan to pricing your tours and building a website and portfolio and all that good stuff. So I'll make sure to leave a link to that and my other courses in the description below for you. Anyway, as mentioned at the beginning of the video, there are two options when it comes to paying for your 360 software. You can either go with a SaaS solution or software as a service, where you pay a monthly or yearly fee, or like 3D Vista, you can pay one price and the software is yours forever. So let's take a look at a few examples. These examples are all for the top plans, as without those you don't get the features that 3D Vista offers, but compared to the three companies that I did look at, 3D Vista actually offers all of the features and that most of the others offer and more anyway. I've also based the costs as if I've been using a monthly or yearly solution over the 7 years that I've been using 3D Vista. So company one I looked at would cost £48 a month if you're paying monthly. So that will work out at $576 a year, and that would come down to $432 if you pay for a whole year. So over 7 years, that's $3,024 for 7 years. Company 2 was $23.99 a month for 12 months, which is $287. That comes down to $239 if you pay for the whole year, which is $2,878 for 7 years. So the third one I looked at was $35 a month for 12 months, which is $420 for the year. That comes down to $348 if you pay for the whole year up front, which is $2,436 for 7 years. 3D Vista, lifetime membership, $499. With hosting, there are tons of hosting options out there, but for a web hosting service with 200 gigabytes of storage, the average price works out at around £9.99 a month, which is £839 over 7 years. But personally, I host all of my tours on the same server that my website is hosted on. So I see this price as irrelevant, as without the hosting I wouldn't have a website. So hosting the tours under the same server is a bonus. Yes, you could say that it is important to use a dedicated server for your 360 tours that is separate to your website, but personally, I've never seen any issues with performance. And in the 7 years that I have been running my business, I've not received one call from a client to say that their tour is running slowly. There is one extra cost that you may have to pay in the future with 3D Vista, and that is updates, optional updates. These are 149 euros a year, but you get your first year included. These updates are, as I said, optional. So if they release a new feature that you're interested in and that you would like to use, then in order to get that new feature, you need to pay 149 euros. If you don't want the feature, or you're happy with the software as it is, then just keep using it as it is. You don't have to pay a penny. But say, for example, you go 2 years, 3 years down the line, and then they release another feature and you think, oh, wow, that's going to be really useful. Then you can pay the 149 euros and you'll get that new feature, but also you'll get all the features before it as well. So I don't see this as a bad thing. The 3D Vista team worked their socks off to create these new additional features for the software. So I feel it's only fair that they get paid for that hard work. So You can also host your tours with 3D Vista themselves, but this can get expensive if you're planning to host large tours or shoot a large amount of them, as the storage and bandwidth is limited. And if you want more storage space and more bandwidth, you do have to pay quite a high monthly fee. However, you do get 3 months of free hosting completely free of charge when you sign up with 3D Vista, as well as you also get their 3D Vista Stitcher as well, which is basically to help stitch images from your 360 camera or DSLR mirrorless camera. Personally, I use PTGUI for that because it's got a lot more functionality. Yes, that is an extra cost, but if you're just getting started in 360 photography, then it might be worth using 3D Vista Stitcher to help get you started. So what is this surprise then? Well, I mentioned earlier that I have a training course that focuses on the business side of 360 virtual tours, but I also have 2 other courses. The first one is all about the photography side of 360. So this will go through what equipment to get, how to get everything set up, how to take the photos, how to edit them and get the best quality possible out of them, and that goes for one-shot cameras and DSLR mirrorless cameras. I also have a course that is designed for new users of 3D Vista that helps them get up and running. By the end of that course, you'll have all the skills needed to create some amazing 360 tours. So basically, I'm offering anyone that purchases 3D Vista through the link in the description below free access to the 3D Vista training course, and also you'll get £50 off either my photography training course or the business course. So if you have found this video useful and you're interested in purchasing 3D Vista, then make sure to use that link below, and I will send you over the course details straight away. And if you already have 3D Vista and are interested in my other courses, then do please check them out, as I have hundreds of very happy customers all around the world, and many are now running successful 360 businesses themselves, which is great. I hope that you have hit that like button, and if you are interested in seeing any of my future videos, then please subscribe and make sure to hit the notification bell to make sure that you get notified of any new videos so you don't miss anything. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're all keeping well, and I hope to see you in the 3D Vista family very soon.